All rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1006, Shaw versus Shaw.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay. Amelia Shaw, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So our daughter has been living with me for 2 years. We're separated, and she's currently not paying any child support. And I thought maybe she would grow up, but I guess it's time to force her hand. So.
Okay. Any reason why you're not paying child support?
She makes a lot more money than I do.
Okay. Is that your only reason?
Mm-hmm.
You know it doesn't really work like that, right?
Well, I spend a lot of time, I'm trying to build my career. I'm a hairstylist.
Okay.
So
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I travel a lot. I don't have a lot of extra money.
When she says she travels a lot, she's at music festivals like every other weekend.
All right, folks, buckle up. This one's a wild ride. We've got a parent who believes that going to music festivals is somehow more important than paying child support. And when I say parent, I mean someone who is actively dropping $22,000 a month on partying, all while conveniently ignoring their financial responsibilities. But wait, the excuse they offer, it's a real head-scratcher. We're diving into the case of Shaw vs. Shaw, where one parent is fighting for support while the other is doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics to avoid paying up. And trust me, you won't believe the justifications we're about to hear. Let's get into it.
It's networking. I'm trying to do hair for bands.
Let me ask you a question. How much are these trips costing you every other weekend?
Probably close to $1,000.
Close to $1,000, and you're going twice a month?
Yeah, sometimes.
You're spending $2,000 a month to go to music festivals when you could be paying child support. So that means you can afford to pay child support, right? Well, yeah. That means that, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
So what's the reason that you're not paying? Because it can't be that she makes more money when you obviously have the finances to do it.
Well, if I...
Yes, the classic, I'm investing in my career defense. Look, we all know networking is important, but if your networking budget starts to look more like a mortgage payment, maybe, just maybe, it's time to rethink your priorities. And let's be real. How much hair are you actually styling between DJ sets at a festival? Priorities, people. Let's not confuse partying with professional development.
She was sort of more enthusiastic about it than I was.
I'm the biological mother.
I'm trying to
also
figure out,
biologically related.
but I'm trying to figure out, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it's kind of more on her, if you think.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
Because I gave birth to
I don't even understand what's going on right now. What do you mean that it's kind of more on her? It's your child too.
She wanted it more.
But you wanted it too, right?
Yeah, you were on board with this.
I was.
So you're going to still be on board with paying child support then? Because it's still your child. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to be a parent. It doesn't work like that. If you can spend $2,000 a month to go to movies.
Did you hear that? The old, well, they wanted the kid more than I did. Excuse. Yeah, that's not how parenting works. This isn't a group project where you get to slack off, just because someone else was more excited about it. Newsflash. If you were on board back then, you're still on board now, especially when it comes to supporting your child. Parenting isn't a participation sport. You don't get to tap out when it gets inconvenient.
And if you're out of town every other weekend, how are you seeing that child as much
She
as you
doesn't.
proclaim? That doesn't make sense.
I FaceTime.
She's drunk when she FaceTimes. Half the time I can't hand the phone over.
Indulge from time to time.
Right,
It's not
and
that
I am not buying anything that you're over there talking about. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get straight into the child support, and you are going to pay, okay? And I know you have the money, because according to your tax returns here, you make about $800 a week, right? Okay, so I have your gross at about $3,200 a month. So you can afford to pay child support because you're spending $2,000 of that to go out of town, and that's based on what you said. That's not based on any calculation yet. Okay? All right? How many children?
Just one.
Just one child? Okay. So I have your net at $2,474.58. Who pays health insurance?
We have Medicaid.
Medicaid? Okay. So Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state because that is a state benefit. So you are the one who is going to reimburse that money to the state. So what I have to do is take 9% of your gross, and that'll give me the health insurance amount that you'll reimburse to Medicaid. Comes out to $288. So when you add that to your monthly child support obligation of $494.92, that gets $782.92
a month.
Yeah, you spend $2,000 a month, right? Yeah, exactly. So you can afford it.
I think one music festival a month is enough.
And maybe you should take your daughter with you to the music festival.
I don't think so.
And there it is. The math doesn't lie, folks. If you're making $3,200 a month and willingly spending $2,000 on festivals, that's not a can't afford it situation. That's a won't afford it situation. You know what else costs around $2,000? Raising a child. But hey, priorities, right? Let's just hope those festival vibes are worth it when your kid needs support.
You know, now that she's paying child support, you really can't dictate what she does on her weekends. It's kind of how it works.
I just don't think that's a safe environment for a 3-year-old to be in.
It may not be, but until something actually happens, you can't dictate that. You wanted child support, you gave rights. You pretty much gave birth to a visitation rights. You understand?
Yeah.
And child support and custody are completely different. So that doesn't mean at any point, if she stops paying, that you can start denying her access to the child. It doesn't work.
No, I don't trust that. Oh, well, now that she's paying child support, you really can't dictate what she does on her weekends. That's kind of how it works, huh? But here's the thing. I just don't think that's a safe environment for a 3-year-old to be in. It may not be, but until something actually happens, you can't dictate that. You wanted child support? Fine. But you also gave up some rights. You pretty much gave birth to visitation rights. Understand? Yeah. And child support and custody are two completely different things. Just because she's paying doesn't mean you can start denying her access to the child if she stops paying. It doesn't work like that.
Nothing further, you all are dismissed.
This right here is an important legal lesson. Child support and visitation are two separate things. Just because you're paying support doesn't mean you get to dictate every single aspect of parenting time. And vice versa. If you stop paying, that doesn't mean access to your child gets cut off. The court isn't here for petty power plays. It's here for fairness. It's about what's best for the child, not who can outmaneuver